And he said, if Clinton helps, he's going to quit. So I said, if you quit, you ain't using my stairs to leave. You're going to use the window. And so he stayed and finished the night. And he was allowed to use the stairs to leave. And then that's when Clint took over. But we got to thank my mom and my older brother, Kurt, with Aero Express. So give a big round of applause for them because they helped build this place and created a beautiful place for you guys to be entertained. But again, I want to thank you all for coming out, and you know, to see Clinton and Adam on national TV, it's just incredible that they started here and they come back here and they still brag about us, and that's what I love. But anyways, have a good night, everybody.
There is, that's Glenn Stiers. Of course, the Stiers family, first-year inductees into the Wall of Fame. And that'll do it from down here. However, a round of applause again for all of our 2017 Wall of Fame inductees.
Thank you very much, Tommy. We have some draw prizes here to announce. First up, our fan appreciation draw, which is the tickets that you got on your way into the Speedway here. If you have any of these numbers, go down to the main entryway to claim your prize. Season pass, 908-597. That's 908-597. Adult ticket, 21145. Adult ticket, 21145. Adult ticket, 20397. Again, 20397. Youth senior ticket, 20333. Youth senior, 20333. And children's ticket, 21241. 21241. If you have any of those fan appreciation numbers, please go down to the main entryway to claim your prize. I'll read through those one more time real quick. Season pass, 908-597. 908-597. Adult tickets, 21145. 21145. And adult ticket, 20397. 20397. Youth senior ticket, 20333. 20333. And children's ticket, 21241. 21241. If you have any of those tickets, go down to the main entryway to claim your prize. Lucky program prize draw. If you have any of these program numbers, the number on the front cover of your program, go down to the flag stand to collect your prize. First up, $50 gift certificate, courtesy of Grand River Dinner Cruises to program 101. 101 for the $50 Grand River Dinner Cruise gift certificate. 2 free passes to the Speedway to 111. 111. 1 hat courtesy of Caledonia Auto Supply to 139. 139. 1 free pita courtesy of the Pita Pit in Caledonia to 263. 263. 1 t-shirt courtesy of Coca-Cola to 150. 150. 1 free large 3-item pizza courtesy of Wiggy's Pizza in Caledonia to 102. 102. 2 free passes to Action Expo courtesy of OhswekenSpdway to 124. 124. If you have any of those program numbers, please go to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. Again, those numbers 101, 111, 139, 163, 150, 102, and 124. If you have any of those program numbers, please go to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. Hopefully we have all of our Pace Truck rides done and in the books, and the kids had some fun with that as we get ready for our first feature after intermission. It'll be the B main, the B feature, for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, with 7 to transfer into tonight's A main. Mini Stocks will be the final feature of the evening. So up next, the B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, followed by the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car A main 20 laps. Then the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A main for 20 laps. Then the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature 20 laps the distance for it. The winner of that race will draw the winning 50-50 number. And then we'll conclude tonight's program with the HRW Automotive Mini Stock feature for 15 laps. Claw and Fang down there talking to some of the kids, the newest members to OhswekenSpdway here in 2017. I want to say hello to everyone watching live on the internet on our live Facebook stream as we were just getting through our intermission, our Wall of Fame ceremonies here on Cormac International Night and also KIDSRACE night in support of the Canadian National Autism Foundation. I want to thank everyone from KIDSRACE and MMBO Direct Marketing for supporting tonight's show. Don't forget to be back next Friday night as Pinty's Delicious Foods presents Race of Champions Sportsman Tour. So the sportsmen return here to the Big O. It's also minor sports team night, so make sure you wear those minor sports team jerseys and make your way to the Speedway, plus all of our regular 5 divisions next Friday night. 7:30 start time as we get ready for the B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stock. Starting in the pole will be the 13 of Daniel McKay, and his outside, the 17 of Mike Taylor. Row number 2, the 05 of Dave Goodacre, and the 17K of Kalia Sims. Row 3 will be the 54 of Christopher French, and the 11 of Mike Guyberson. Row 4, the 79 of Steve Miller, and the 222 of Nick Massey. Row 5 will be the 265 of Mike Evers and the 29X of Davey Boughton. Row 6, the 4W of Wade Thorne and the 38M of Matthew Moore. Row 7, the 11T of Brian Teeple and the 81 being listed now as Carl Salt. Row number 8, the 11P of Patrick Abramson, the 61 of Sean Snake, and in the back row, the 2 of Matt Newell. Coming to the green flag, 7 cars to punch their tickets into the A main. All the rest go home, ready to go. Green flag race in the B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Keep an eye on Matt Newell in the 2 car. Got a good start there. He is a fast car that started the tail of this one. He's already made up a couple of positions. Now McKay in the 13 goes around, and everybody sneaks through and avoids him. We'll see if the yellow can stay in the flagman's hand. McKay still has not got going. They're still racing up front. Goodacre has the lead right now.
And we stay green to complete the lap, and now the caution flag will come out. So 1 lap is complete in this one. So Goodacre, Boughton, Massey, Guyberson, Salt, your top 5. Then it's Christopher French in the 54 and the 17 of Mike Taylor, the top 7. Those are the transfer cars to this point.
So because the lap was complete, oh no, I think they're still going to do double file restart here, aren't they? Because we haven't gotten to the halfway mark yet.
So 1 lap is complete. 7 laps left to go in this one, trying to find the top 7 to advance to tonight's A main, which will be 15 laps in distance. We got our 2 major events coming up at the end of July. If you haven't already heard, Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu joining us on July the 24th and 25th, the Monday and Tuesday night. Of course, the Tuesday evening will be the return of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. And Kyle Larson, of course, hot off his win of a World of Outlaws competition this past week. He will be here looking to do the same right here at the Big O. Monday, July the 24th, Tuesday, July the 25th. Plenty of tickets available at OhswekenSpdway.com, or go see Mary down in the ticket booth and get your advance reserve tickets to see Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu right here at the Big O.
I know Kyle Larson is the big name draw, but Rico Abreu is going to put on just as much of a show as Kyle Larson, I can guarantee you. He drives like Jack Hodenshield used to drive, if you remember back in the 90s. So looking forward to that next month. Here we go, green flag out again on the mini stock B main.
Trying to find 7 into the A main. Goodacre leads him down into corner number 1. It's 3 wide with Massey on the bottom.
So Boughton in the 29 takes the lead here. Massey takes second away from Goodacre, who has something go wrong with the 05 there momentarily coming out of corner 2. That allows the 81 of Carl Salt also to get by and take the 3rd spot.
Davey Boughton in the Eggs Custom Fab 29 right now leading the way over Massey. Then it's Carl Salt, David Goodacre And that 11 machine, the pinball, Mike Giberson in the top 5. Mike Evers holding on to 6th. 3 cars go at it for 7th. Right now, the 79 of Miller has it.
So Miller, the wily veteran in the 79 car, trying to take the 6th spot away from another wily veteran, the 265 of Mike Evers. As those two go at it, Matt Newell and that 38 car also up into the fight for the final transfer.
Here comes Miller working to the outside of the 05. A Goodacre looking to get into the top 5. He does, makes contact with Giberson. They'll both spin in front of a pack of cars. Evers will go around. Miller turns up the track in front of French in a huge collision with French and Teeple involved. Taylor also into the mix. And the caution flag will fly on lap number 4.
Well, guys, the problem down here is the Christopher French 54. The left side looks all right. You guys will have to take a look at the right side when he comes by. It looks like it's all together from here. Same thing for Steve Miller. A quick cleanup here. 2 cars that didn't look like they were going to be able to continue look like they will be able to roll on.
Yeah, it looks like French in the 54 has the nose cone kind of bent up there, but we'll see if it can hang on for a few more laps. And Miller got hit pretty squarely in the what I thought was the driver's door or left front wheel area, but that car seems to be rolling pretty well here, so we'll see what those guys can do from the back.
Plenty of folks watching at home through our live stream. I want to welcome you. And a reminder, you can watch each and every event except for the major events. They will not be live streamed, but for our regular Friday night shows, you can tune in each and every week through our Facebook page, so follow along. And we've had folks watching from around the world. Glad to have you here with us here at OhswekenSpdway, located on the Six Nations Reserve in Ontario, Canada, about 20 minutes west of Hamilton. So just getting the lineup set. Lineup is good, says race director Doug Leonard, and we are ready to get them back under green flag conditions to see who will make it into tonight's A main. So Davey Boughton, Nick Massey will bring them back to the green flag. Carl Salt, Mike Giberson, row number 2. Dave Goodacre and Matthew Moore right now, 5th and 6th, and the 17, the white 17 of Mike Taylor in that final transfer position. Green flag back in the air, and we are back on it to see who will make it into tonight's A main.
So 4 in and 4 to go here, and lots to be decided as Salt and Boughton go out at the front of this one. 2 former mini stock champions racing in the B main here, then Massey in the 222. But keep an eye on Steve Miller. He came from the tail of this one after that crash. Already has passed 4 cars and up almost into the fight for the transfer spot again.
Yeah, great recovery by that 79. That car has got a ton of laps on this track. It's seemingly been here forever, and here it is working in on that 7th spot as Boughton goes into quarter number 3. He slowed a little bit and let Massey catch him.
It's Giberson with the final transfer right now in the 11 car, but Abramson and Miller are right there for that transfer spot. 3 wide now for that 7th and final transfer spot.
So So Boughton continues to lead over Salt. Massey right there in third. Then a gap back to Newell in fourth. And a great run by Matthew Moore, Brighton Speedway regular. Not the car he runs on Saturdays down there, but doing a nice job in that fifth spot. Here comes Goodacre, Giberson, Miller, Abramson all at it, and Matthew Moore has problems out of corner number 4 and gives up a transfer position.
Boy, just as you were saying how well he was running, he falls off the pace and out of this race, basically. Boughton still up front, then Salt, Massey, Newell, Goodacre, and Miller. I believe Abramson now in the final transfer in the 11P.
So Boughton will work by the lap car of McKay and get the checkered flag and pick up the win over Salt. Then it'll be Massey in third, Newell fourth, fifth is Steve Miller, sixth Dave Goodacre, and Patrick Abramson grabs the final transfer spot for tonight's A main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Well, Greg, if I can just make a mention of some of the marketing partnerships we've entered into. We're working together with the Hagersville Rocks Festival, July 22nd at Grant Kett Memorial Bell Park in Hagersville, Ontario. Gates open at 3. They've got a great lineup of live music, so if you get a chance, check it out. It's Hagersville Rocks concert. That's July 22nd at Grant Kett Memorial Bell Park in Hagersville. Gates open at 3 o'clock. And then, of course, one of the other marketing partners we're working with are our friends at Humberstone, who have a big race coming up the day after Action Expo. It's 6 divisions, all $1,000 to win for the Mini Stocks, Pro 4 Trucks, Street Stocks, Late Models, ROC Sportsman, and a 40-lap Enduro also. Plus, one lucky fan will win $1,000. That's a big Canada Day showdown the day after Canada Day. That's July 2nd. Racing starts 6:30 at Humberstone. Log on for all the information. So I want to thank our marketing partners, both the Hagersville Rocks Festival and our friends at Humberstone Speedway. Back to you guys as we get ready to go with the Strickland Crates.
Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car feature running a little earlier than normal tonight. 20 laps will be the distance. Starting the pole out of St. Thomas, the best safety training and consulting Magnum Science 52 is Jesse Costa. Rolling off from the second starting spot out of Caledonia, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction. Number 55 of Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. Starting in third, in car number 49H out of Hagersville, the Cool Kids Ice and Water Ride, that is Jerry Hill. And lining up to his outside, the Top Gun Award winner tonight, in car number 10 out of Oakland, the INT'L Middleport Mechanical Ride of Lofton Schutz. Starting in fifth, in car number 1 out of Delhi, the INS Crafts and Supply Cameron Cranes, number 1 of Holly Porter. And starting in sixth, out of Cortland, the Service Equipment CarQuest Tirecraft 44 is Cody Day. Starting in seventh, and car number 43H out of Stouffville, the Transport Sales and Service Durnan Motors, number 43H, the Gunslinger Ryan Hunsinger lining up to his outside. Aboard car number 88, the champion one year ago out of Caledonia, the Renway Energy Ride of Jesse McDonald. Row number 5 will be the 3, the INT'L ride of, the Miska Trailers ride of A.J. Lewis, and his outside the Oakwood Transport. Number 4 is Mac DeMann. Row number 6, in the 11th starting spot out of Waterdown, the Regional Tractor Sales Sun Merch number 5C of Connor Mahoney, and his outside rolling off 12th. In the Mike Yerrick Dodge BCG Electrical number 8, it is the Hurricane, Hannah Farrell. Row number 7 will be the 88H out of Beamsville, the J&E Recovery Julie Swayze Remax ride of Josh Hansen. And his outside last week's winner out of Ohsweken, the Case IH Rochester Nighthawks 68 of Aaron Turkey. Row number 8 will be the 18 out of St. Agatha, the Cal Tire Nicholson Realty 18 of Josh Schantz. And his outside, the 87X out of Scotland, the Ackland Insurance ride of Sean Evans. And then we've got Brian Nanakoke in the 9C, the 5D of Dave Dykstra, the 15 of Dan Nanakoke, and the 5 of DJ Christie. The Strickland GMC Crate Sprint cars are going to go 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. Let's get on our feet and wave them on. This is the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car A main event. Field will take formation in behind the Strickland GMC pace truck. I want to thank Lone Wolf Fireworks for lighting up the sky. Lone Wolf Fireworks on Highway 54 in Middleport. Check them out online and on Facebook. Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official firework provider of OhswekenSpdway.
We're going to green this lap at a turn number 4. Jesse Costa, who dominated his heat race earlier on, will start on the pole. On the outside, Mike Thorne in the 55. Greg?
Tom Savage, we need you to the front gate immediately. Tom Savage to the front gate, please. Coming to the green flag for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car, a main event.
Side by side, hammer down, and Mike Thorne gets a great jump on the high side. He'll lead them down into turn number 1. Costa slides up the racetrack. We got one in trouble. It's Ryan Hunsinger with serious front end damage.
Wow. Great job of driving by everyone to get by the gunslinger, Ryan Hunsinger, as he comes to a stop to the inside wall down in corner number 2. The point leader coming into tonight. He had a 3-point lead over Jesse McDonald, not the start he wanted.
Of course, Ryan Hunsinger won the first 2 features of the year. Aaron Turkey won last week. Clinton Jeffrey on the scene.
Well, he clipped the inside wall coming through here and tore the front end out of the 43, so Ryan Hunsinger's night will be done here. It's not something they can get repaired in the 2-minute work time, so he will need a hook back here, and the gunslinger looks like he is done for the night, guys.
Well, and he broke the front end early in that corner, almost clipped one of the cars back in the field coming through. That could have been a whole lot worse. We can see Clint hopping over the wall trying to get a bit closer to Ryan Hunsinger. Maybe we'll hear what happened.
Well, Ryan getting the helmet off, and I don't want to repeat what he just said, but we'll get a word with Ryan here in just a minute.
Again, just before we went to green, Tom Savage, we need you to the front admission booth, please. That's an emergency. We need Tom Savage to the front gate, please.
So the car circulates slowly, not sure what's going to happen with the lap counter. Either it's going to be a 28-lap feature event because it's starting on lap 8.
Well, Ryan Hunsinger will take a ride back. Said he lost all brakes going into 1, guys.
And that would explain why he slowly rolled down and hit that wall. Not that you use a ton of brakes on a sprint car, but you still need them, Greg, to set the car. And as we saw, to stop the car from hitting the concrete barrier when you're out of control.
Yeah, you could see him kind of moving the wheel trying to scrub speed off, I think is what he was trying to do in the corner, and a bad feeling that has to be. With a pack bearing down on you, as I mentioned, point leader coming into tonight. He's 3 points up on Jesse McDonald. And just 11 points up on Mac DeMant, so a huge hit in the points here tonight if he's not able to rejoin us. Now, they are allowed to have 2 minutes in the work area, but it doesn't look as though he is going to take advantage of that, and the white flag will come out. We'll go back to the green flag next time around.
So Jesse Costa really struggled getting down into turn number 1. That car just slid up the racetrack, didn't want to turn at all. And that bottled things up behind him as well. So you better believe that row number 2, I believe that's Jerry Hill and Lofton Schutz, they've got to be planning their escape.
Yeah, they'll see if this happens again as they go down through corner 4, back to the green flag for the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division.
Back at it they go, a similar looking start. We'll see if Costa can hold it. Still that car sliding up a little bit. That allows Mike Thorne to get by. Here goes Schutz to the outside as well.
Side by side for the second position as they work off of corner number 4. Mike Thorne is your leader. Costa second, Schutz in third, Hill and Porter your top 5.
The field makes it through lap number 1, clean and green.
Great battle back there for 6th. And Cody Day got on the binders and Mac DeMann had to check up. Meanwhile, the Steyrs team right behind them, side by side.
A couple of orange wings tracking down the Mac DeMann number 4 as he'll drive to the inside of Cody Day in turn number 1. That's a battle for the 6th position.
Mike Thorne is on a rail out in front, running that extreme outside line where he used to run there with his Thunder stock, and he's pulling away from Jesse Costa in second.
Things going his way in the early going, a fairly dry racetrack by OhswekenSpdway standards. Jerry Hill putting the pressure on Jesse Costa. He'll drive to the inside through 3 and 4, trying to take advantage of the short way around. He'll take spot number 2.
Aaron Turkey picked up his first win of the season last Friday night. He just made a daring move to get by Cody Day and Jesse McDonald. McDonald drifts back, put Aaron Turkey into 7th now.
Aaron Turkey coming off that victory last Friday night. He'd love to follow it up with another trip to the front stretch after, and we've got a yellow flag. DJ Christie and Greg, just interrupt me. Greg gently tapped my shoulder. Excuse me, sir, there's a problem in corner number 2.
Well, not a bad problem, guys. Looks like a simple spin here for DJ Christie, the rookie, who has looked pretty good in his first few weeks behind the wheel of this gorgeously prepared number 5 machine. Did a little pirouette and jawed himself a nice pattern here on the clay, and he's ready to get pushed off. It fires up again. We're rolling. Should be a quick yellow, guys.
The safety crew still doing a bang-up job here at the Speedway. Early in the season, they were called upon far more often than we like to see last Friday night.
Well, I thought maybe we would see a little bit different track surface for the crate sprint cars starting earlier in the evening. It's a little different than it was 1 week ago, but maybe not quite as tacky as they were expecting.
But you know what, Greg? It's 10 lanes wide. I mean, normally there's a preferred groove. Even on a dirt track, there's a fast way around. And right now, these guys have huge number of options.
So Mike Thorne had checked out on that last green flag. Let's see if he can pull away from Jerry Hill on the restart. Single file past the cone on the front stretch. Kyle McKenzie waves the green flag, and we are back at it.
Gets on the loud pedal halfway between 3 and 4, but Jerry Hill was ready. He got on the throttle about the same time and shows his nose to Mike Thorne.
And Hill kept close there as Cody Day goes off the track in corner number 2. He'll gather things back up the back of the field. And a good battle at the front for the lead. Thorne and Hill into 1.
Jerry Hill continuing to work the bottom groove, really getting into the corner strong. Mike Thorne using the momentum he gains on the outside. But he's one slide job away from possibly losing that lead.
Cody Day goes around in corner number 2, and that will bring out the caution on lap number 7, right in front of the leaders. So Mike Thorne will take evasive action and get away from the 44 of Cody Day.
The trouble with leading a race is you don't know what the other drivers are doing. Mike Thorne might not know that he was stomping the field before that first caution. Now he sees Jerry Hill pull alongside him. You know, it can get into a driver's head. When was Mike Thorne's last win?
It was in a Thunderstock. He's been a runner-up in the crates and had the winner DQ'd, but you don't get the win from that. That's as close as he's been.
You'll take the money, but it's not a win. If you don't stand in victory lane and get out of the car and feel great about yourself, they'll take it, but it's not the same.
So he's technically best place, second place in the sprints.
Tommy's thinking 2012 might be the last trip to victory lane in a Thunderstock. Now, he started fairly early on that last restart between 3 and 4. Jerry Hill immediately drove to the inside of him. Let's see if he holds off just a little bit on this restart. Maybe wait until he's deeper into turn 4 before he gets on the throttle. Let's see what Mike Thorne does in that Burger Bar number 55.
He'll bring them back to the green flag. Hill was right there in that last restart. Thorne gets a great jump this time, and he'll pull away from Hill down the front stretch.
Thorne gets out a little bit later, but gets a better restart, able to keep that advantage through 1 and 2 as the rest of the field looking for racing room.
Thorne, your leader. Hill there in second. Jesse Costa right now in a podium spot as he runs in third. Holly Porter hanging in fourth. Mac DeMann, who stands to gain some ground on point leader Ryan Hunsinger. He's right there in fifth.
Further back, Lofton Schutz, or rather AJ Lewis having a great battle. Yeah, with Lofton Schutz, one of the OhswekenSpdway cars. I believe that's Aaron Turkey and Josh Hansen in the 88H.
Here comes Holly Porter. She's been methodically working that inside line. Had slipped outside of the top 5 for a moment. Now finds herself in third as she works by Jerry Hill.
Smooth driving by Holly Porter in that third position, a little deeper back. Jerry Hill trying to find the groove that'll work. And look at Josh Hansen pulling a slider on Mac DeMann. DeMann turns the car down the baking, retakes that position as we got one in the wall. Believe that's Connor Mahoney.
Yep, the 5C will loop it around in corner 2 and hits the hay bales up in the high side, and that brings out the caution with 9 laps on the board, and Mike Thorne leading the way over Jesse Costa, Holly Porter, Mac DeMann, and Josh Hansen.
Almost to the halfway point in this crate sprint car feature event. The Strickland's crate sprint cars. So great to see some old friends tonight. Jim Swing, Jim Cochran, the Hoopinen brothers racing. So Connor Mahoney, even after getting spit off the wall as hard as he did, is going to get that car pushed. They won't need a tow. They'll push that car back to the pit area. Should he go to the work area, they will get 2 minutes to work on the race car before restarting this race. If a driver knows they're in some kind of big trouble, they'll head directly to their pit stall.
Don't forget Action Expo coming up on Canada Day, Saturday, July the 1st, a big action sports extravaganza. Tanner Fox making his way here of YouTube fame, bringing his car along, and plenty of things going on. www.actionxbigexpo.com, and Clinton Jeffrey could tell you all about that as well.
Well, guys, I just want to mention, I'm not sure if you guys mentioned I was deep in the pits. We will skip victory lane here for the crates and go right into the 360 feature in an effort to beat the precipitation that is coming our way. So just wanted to make you guys up to speed. All the 360 guys were gathered up and told to get ready. We're coming right back to it.
Good plan. Always a goal to get the fans entertained and send them on their way, Greg Calnan.
Yeah, we saw those clouds off to the northwest and wondered. I knew there was the potential, so obviously that potential is a little more serious than we thought. So that means I got to bring up the radar now.
You're such a tech geek.
I have to.
Mike Thorne. So he started in the middle of 3 and 4, a little bit later on the last restart. Let's see if he mixes up his starting points. He liked the way the last one turned out, and he's stacking them up. Now he'll take off in turn number 4. Mike Thorne doing a great job not restarting, Greg, the same way twice.
Yeah, very good restart for Thorne as Costa's right there in second, but Porter and Hansen all over, and troubles for A.J. Lewis down in corner number 1. And the caution comes right back out.
Looks like DJ Christie with a flat left rear tire up in turn number 2. Cody Day, whatever happened on that number 44 machine, he took it straight to the pits.
Want to wish a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there here in the stands and watching live at home, and to my dad, Dale Kellman, down the infield shooting photos. Good to have him back at the track this week.
Well, the 5 of Christie here with a problem on the left rear got a piece of the 3 as it was slow here in turn number 1 and 2. So we're going to need a hook for the back of the Christie 5 car here, who's had an adventurous feature. And we will see what happens. We're going to see the 3 car go back to the pits for a tire. So they will take their 2 minutes in the work area, guys, and we will get back to you shortly.
And I've got to say, Greg, of all the years coming to the races when I was racing go-karts or cars or announcing, my wife and family have been to the races. My parents, of course, I was brought up in a racing family, but never before has my wife and kids, my parents, and my brother Chris and his family, Kim, the 3 girls, Darcy, Brooklyn, Ella, and Wiley and Max, all been at the same time. So a really special night for me. I'm so glad they could all make it. Connor in the back helping Mikey. Devin somewhere in the stands, but he texted me to say that he was here. Well, he didn't text me, and my wife told me he's here. Didn't want to come down onto the front stretch.
A great ceremony down there trackside, and 5 more deserving members. And that's something the fans get involved in. There's nominations that take place in February, I believe it is.
Well, it was
the
awkward
end of
as all
February is
heck.
the deadline.
It was awkward because we've done it for a couple of years now, and Clinton and I and Tommy and you and Doug Leonard. So when our names did come up, to have to kind of say, well, guys, we got to get away from this and leave it to you, but it looks odd. It's just a real honor, a real thrill, and I'm glad we were nominated by so many people. It's been wonderful.
We had to. We got lots of nominations.
And like you say, it's to have the family here. It's a family sport. I mean, I travel everywhere I go with my dad. Dale Kellnan comes with me, makes that long haul to Brighton Speedway every Saturday night with me, and it is truly a family sport, and it's cool that you could celebrate with your family. Clint, of course, with his family here tonight, and his dad gets to watch it live as well, which is pretty cool.
If Gary's watching live, Gary, I'm a little disappointed you're not here tonight. Would have been great to see you, but pretty cool that you can watch live from home. And it is, you can't put your finger on. You can try to do the right things, but because Glenn and Tina have always done the right things and had the right intentions in trying to put the people together and put on a great show, and the kids club and the bathrooms and the things that they've done to make things better here. I mean, the intentions are right and the passion is there, and that's what makes this place great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always enjoyable to work for someone that you feel is part of your family as well, and that's always been the way of the Stiers family. I should give a shout out tomorrow night, World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series, along with the Southern Ontario Sprints at the Brighton Speedway. We'll be down there for that one tomorrow night, 7 o'clock start time. Always a huge show when the World of Outlaws are in town. That is a late model track from long ago. I grew up watching late models there, so to see the World of Outlaws at Brighton Speedway is just awesome. It's their first visit in a couple of seasons, and that's tomorrow night. There's still plenty of tickets and seating available to get into that show tomorrow night, so make the trip down. Again, World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series, along with the Southern Ontario Sprints, and the Pro Stocks are on the card as well. 7 o'clock, BrightonSpeedway.com if you're looking for directions to get down there tomorrow night.
You will be entertained.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic crowd down there, as always.
There is 1 minute remaining on the 2-minute clock for repairs to be made back in the pits. So that's why we haven't gone back to green flag racing just yet.
Well, Adam, Dad texted me and said, tell Adam I'm watching.
I know. I felt bad. As I was saying, I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Because Gary does. He sees everything from down there. I'm pretty impressed, Clint.
Well, as a kid, my dad knew everything, caught me every time, and still he finds a way to keep his eye on us. So I know he likes to catch up with Mikey, watching him race, and always full of good constructive criticism. I call my dad every Saturday morning for the report card on what he saw and what we could get better. And I love you, Dad. All the best. Happy Father's Day.
Well, one of the things, Clinton, that I didn't say in talking is our biggest fans are our parents, and our best critics, as good as we think we did on a given night, my parents would tell us what we could do better. And that's the thing with racing. You always want to get better.
It's funny. I always have the drive home, and it's like the drive of shame. My dad's telling me all the things I did wrong. And, no.
You know what? But if taken, it really, the best advice, and this is going to sound a little ironic because I feel like I haven't stopped talking all night, but my mom says, you do a good job announcing, Adam, and you and Clint, but it'd be nice if you shut up once in a while, too.
And Darren says amen here in the tower.
You had to ruin it. You had to start talking again.
We're ready to get back to the racing, and here comes A.J. Lewis at the very last second, makes it back out on the track. Let's see what Mike Thorne can do on this restart. His last two have been very good.
Green out of turn number 4. They're closed in behind the Burger Barn 55. Hammered down through the turn. Jesse Costa right up on the rear bumper of the Mike Thorne number 55.
Yeah, that's the restart that Costa wanted. Keeps pace with Thorne, but Thorne gets launched off of corner number 2 and puts a gap.
Mac DeMann making his presence felt. He'll try to shoot the gap between Costa and Holly Porter.
10 laps on the circuit. Mike Thorne, your leader. Jesse Costa in second. Side by side for Porter on the outside of DeMann.
Mac DeMann runs right down to the bottom of the racetrack, not quite as low as Costa, but low enough to get a shorter run. Holly Porter, and then a pull up in front of the one machine going into turn 1.
Mike Thorne hooked up tonight. Look at him on that outside line, pulling away from Jesse Costa, who's firmly right now in second, but it's Porter and the man going out now. Just as I say that, Costa had problems in 3, and 3rd and 4th caught him.
Holly Porter with a big old slide job on Mac DeMann. He'll work his way around the outside, closing in on Jesse Costa in the 52. This track is wide but slick here tonight as Mike Thorne continues to lead the way with 7 laps to go. Mac DeMann closing the gap on the race leader, Mike Thorne. He's running a little bit higher in that 4 machine than is the 55 of Thorne, but with 6 laps left, he can catch Thorne, but will he be able to make a move? We're going to find out as he closes right up on the back of the 55 machine. Closing in on the back straightaway, just a car length separate the top 2 as they race into 3 and 4. DeMann goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll binge it off on the low side. Mike Thorne going to roll around the outside and maintain that position.
Kyle McKenzie shows the field the big high five. 5 more trips around. Thorne on the outside is your leader, but here comes DeMann clawing on the bottom. He's going to slide up in front of Thorne and lead at the line.
Mike Thorne changed his line just a little bit, trying to keep DeMann down the racetrack. It did not pay off as he gets overtaken by the 4 machine. And now here comes Josh Hansen. Jesse Costa got by. Here comes Hansen in the 88.
Across the stripe this time by. It'll be 3 laps left to go for Mac DeMann with Costa, Hansen, Thorne, Turkey, Porter, all right there under a blanket.
Oh, Aaron Turkey sailed it in a little bit too hard. Slides it sideways, and we will be yellow.
Well, Aaron Turkey threw a big slider. Last week's feature winner used the top to his advantage. Tonight, he threw it into the bottom to try and make a move on 3rd spot and couldn't quite make it stick as it is very slick. You can see the track being polished heavily up through the middle portion, and Turkey will have to go all the way to the back, guys. We have some amazing young racers out here. How about 14-year-old Joshua Hansen in the 88 car just made some big moves to jump himself up into 3rd place.
Well, he's getting a bit of a scolding right now from the veteran Mike Thorne, who down in corner 1 was giving all sorts of hand gestures to the youngster in the 88H, so maybe some displeasure there.
Young and full of energy. Mac DeMann found a groove that nobody was really running out there, but then had to drop to the bottom and was still able to make great progress battling for the lead. But this race is far from over. 3 laps remain.
Green flag goes in the air, and Mac DeMann will lead them down into corner number 1 with Costa second, fighting on the bottom.
Jesse Costa working the bottom groove. Josh Hansen still trying to decide where he likes that car to run. They'll take 2 to go this time at the stripe. McDeman way up to the high side. Costa way down low.
2 more circuits around for McDeman. He had 7 wins in 2017, but motor problems kept him from being a championship contender. He's in the thick of the fight this year as they work down off of corner 4. The white flag will come out for McDeman.
Nice save by Josh Shantz, who got almost up to the wall in turn number 2. McDeman well out in front. The battle is for second. Jesse Costa with the spot. Here goes Josh Hansen to the outside.
What a move to the outside line. Costa and Hansen going for second. Meanwhile, at the front, double checkers in the air. McDeman takes the win at the line. Costa will grab second over Hansen, Porter, McDonald, Thorne, Evans, Hill, and Hannah Farrell. What a good one there. McDeman does a nice job to find his way to Lucas Oil Products Victory Lane. Again, we're going to forego Victory Lane until the end of the 360 feature.
And as we said, the top 3 are going to roll all the way around the small track into the infield, because we're going to go straight into the 360 sprint car feature. Try to get you all the racing action we can get you.
So for McDeman, his 8th career win. Make that 9th career win. 7 wins last year, and again, had motor problems. The early part of the season kept him out of championship contention, but McDeman gets back to victory lane for the first time in 2017 here tonight, and will probably come out the point leader as McDeman's out on the car. He's celebrating already. Let's hear it for McDeman. Ready to go, the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A main event. 20 laps will be the distance. Rolling off in the 18th spot. Out of Caister Center, the Aces Bar and Grill, J&E Recovery Plastics Auto Recyclers, 91 is Ryan Turner. Scheduled to start in the 17th position out of corner number 2 in the Case IH, Lone Wolf Fireworks, Rochester Nighthawks, Renway Energy Zero, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. Starting in 16th out of St. Catharines in the Gulfy Concrete, Overland Heating and Air Conditioning, A to Z Expediting, Niagara Dental Arts, number 80, The Real Deal, Chris Steele. Starting in 15th out of Port Colborne, the Gilletta Flooring Services, Hayner's Discount Tire and Auto Parts, Mike Knapford, 22, is Sean Slider. Outside of row 7 of the 14th starting spot out of St. Williams, Ontario, the Norfolk Appliance Repair, Simcoe Bearing, Gales Auto Aftermarket, 21J is John Burbridge Jr. And starting to his inside in the 13th position at a Pancor. In the CF Industrial, Lumar Excavating and Trucking, Vertec, 38 is Tyler Hendricks. Pulling off 12th at a Caister Center, the Charlie B. Honey Pie at Spring and Alignment, VNR Recycling, 11 is Jamie Turner. And to his inside, starting 11th out of Thamesford, the Pie Pond, Ellercarn, DuPont, number 6 is Curtis Gartley. Starting in 10th at a Caister Center, the KT Tobacco Town Line Variety, Silo Wireless, 97 is Corey Turner. And starting in 9th out of Brantford, the Auto Refinishers Canada, Hills Tire and Gas, Strode's Barbecue, Little Bend 110 is Jake Brown. Starting in 8th out of Fenwick, Ontario, the Digital Detail, Clearshot Customs, number 27H, the Fenwick Flyer, Tommy Hoopinen. And rolling off 7th out of Mount Hope, the WildStar Custom Fab, O'Neill Farm Equipment, Window Works, number 2 of Lee Winger. Starting in 6th out of Brantford in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction, number 10 is Downtown Mitch Brown. And rolling off in 5th out of Fenwick, he's got 1 win already this year in the Gibbons Contracting, Upper Canada Consultants, number 14H, it's the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen. Starting in 4th at a Carlisle, the Big Road Meineke Car Care, Creative Edge Signs and Graphics, MMBO Direct Marketing, number 9 is Steve Lyons. And rolling off in 3rd out of Hamilton, the Insta Installation Epic Raceway, number 01K of Mikey Crutchkin. On the front row out of Scotland in the Bradshaw Fuels 47X is Dylan Westbrook. And on the pole out of Grimsby in car number 90, it is Travis Cunningham. White flag has been displayed on the field, 2x2. They work it down the back stretch. Travis Cunningham, Dylan Westbrook on the front row. Kyle McKenzie with double greens in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. They rock it down through corners 1 and 2, and Dylan Westbrook picks up where he left off 1 week ago. He was the winner of the Patriot Sprint Tour A-Main. He's out in front on lap 1.
Travis Cunningham struggling with the setup in that 90 machine. So Hoopin and Lyons Krutchka and Brown going to try to close in on Dylan Westbrook, but he has set sail in the lead out front by half a straightaway.
This is exactly what he did 1 week ago using that outside line. He leads lap number 2 with right now Jim Hoopinen in that second spot. He was the winner 2 weeks ago in the 14H.
A lot of these drivers struggling to make forward bite out there. Dylan Westbrook is hard on the loud pedal. He's not struggling at all. Hooping into the second spot, pulling away from Mitch Brown, who's holding on to third.
Mitch Brown had a rough time on his Eastern swing with the Patriot Sprint Tour 1 week ago, crashed his car. He's up there in the top 3 now. He's got all the kinks worked out on the Burger Barn 10.
Mikey Krutchka now heading up to that outside groove, see what he can make happen from up there.
Dylan Westbrook this time by will complete lap number 5, 15 to go. Westbrook is your leader. Second right now, the 14H of Jim Hoopinen. Third place, the 10 of Mitch Brown. Fourth at the line will be the 9 of Steve Lyons. And fifth is the 01 of Mikey Krutchka. Sixth right now is Tom Hoopinen. Seventh, Corey Turner. Eighth is Jake Brown. Ninth is Jamie Turner. And 10th is the pole sitter, Travis Cunningham.
Krutchka trying to complete that pass of Steve Lyons for the 4th position. He'll finally get it done. It took him a couple of laps to get the momentum he needed. Dylan Westbrook closing in on lap traffic as he races down the front straightaway.
Even gap between first and second to third as they've all spaced themselves out right now. But that might change. As you mentioned, Adam, lap traffic right in front of the leaders and in the lane he wants to run.
Well, and that's the trouble with leading the race. He really can't know how far behind second place is. So he'll go about working through the lap traffic as quickly as he can. He's gotten around John Burbridge, but he's really not making a lot of ground.
Somebody will be at lap number 9, just 1 lap short of the halfway mark as Westbrook works by a couple of lapped cars. Now we'll work on the back end of the 22 of Sean Slider down in corner 1.
Slider running that outside groove that Westbrook had been running most of the race, and Dylan Westbrook just cannot make the move. He'll finally get down to the bottom on Slater as Sean Slater has a problem. He's going to roll to the stop in the middle of 3 and 4.
Well, Sean Slater slapped the wall hard on the backstretch, and that brings out the caution for the 22. Dylan Westbrook was trying to work down to the inside of Slater, and he hit the outside wall a ton with the right rear, and instantly when he went into corner number 3, you could tell that things weren't right. And in fact, if you look at the left rear, I believe from this angle, you can see it's a little out of whack there. And that lap traffic was playing in the favor of Jim Hoopinen, who was catching the leader.
Well, and for the moment, who knows what would have happened when Hoopinen caught up to Westbrook. He might have found himself with the same trouble. Little curious to see what Mikey Krutchka can do. He was the only driver working the bottom with any success, and that's when it comes to finding that traffic or finding an advantage. You've got to go where the leader is not, Greg.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not going to make up ground chasing the guy that's up in that outside line, and Dylan's been so good up there. That's how he won last week, just pinned to that outside line. You got to search for something to make a difference, and Mikey Krutchka, he is always so good on the inside line.
Sort of his wheelhouse. That's where he likes the car to perform well, and see if there's anything he can do here with Dylan Westbrook, as the 21 car of John Burbridge will be between Westbrook and the rest of the field.
So we'll come back to the green flag next trip around with Dylan Westbrook, your leader, then the lap car of Burbridge, Jim Hoopinen in the 14H right now in second, Mitch Brown in third, Mikey Krutchka fourth, and Tom Hoopinen, newest Wall of Fame member, right now in fifth in that 27H. Corey Turner doing a nice job. He's just outside of the top 5.
Dylan Westbrook slowly off of turn number 4, puts the hammer down. We're back to green flag racing.
Westbrook continuing to command out in front. Here's Jim Hoopinen in trouble up in corner number 2, and it's Tom Hoopinen and Jake Brown will get collected in this one. Tom Hoopinen in that 27H. He was up there in the top 5. Spins around, and Jake Brown really had nowhere to go and ends up involved up there in the Little Ben 110. So still 9 laps complete with 11 to go.
Didn't look like significant contact for either of these drivers, but hopefully Clint's on his way and can give us an update.
There is some precipitation out there.
Well, from what I can see, guys, they both look all right here. Hoopinen appears to be all right in the 27, rolling down the hill a little bit to try and get restarted. We'll check out the Jake Brown 110 here. His car needs a hook from the front end, and we'll get a look and see what ails it.
I judge my precipitation, Greg, by the bugs flying around.
Oh,
Bugs are still out. It's not
exactly. I was just going to say, there's plenty of those. Now, the weather cell that's moving through is fairly light precipitation. There is one little chunk that could possibly hit us, but...
Well, guys, Jake Brown here with the left side radius rod broken in two. It is going to be difficult for them to get this one repaired, but they're going to try.
So they will get the 2 minutes in the work area over in the pits, as they've decided to push the crate sprint car drivers into the pit area.
So perhaps Victory Lane will be scheduled for next Friday night.
Well, guys, the question has been posed, how is the track? Well, it's still very good because it's a dry, slick night out there. The track, this little bit of precipitation isn't really killing us too bad just yet, but you know how quickly it can change in a heartbeat. So we will check and see, make sure everything is still good. And in an effort, as you guys mentioned, to get the program in, we're going to avoid all victory lanes tonight. If we get to the end of it, we may get them in, but for now, let's keep the green flag out.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, next Friday night, the ROC Sportsman Tour is in town. They put on a great show last season. They'll be back again, of course. Adam, you can attest to this, Sportsman Division, the top division for many years here at the Big O, and we're actually into our 10th full season since that's been the case. This is the 10th full year of sprint cars as the top division, but always great to have the Sportsman back next Friday night.
And the teams love coming here to race. I mean, we are spoiled with this nice, wide, smooth racing surface. The 110 of Jake Brown is on the repair clock, the 2-minute repair clock. So they're working with radio communication to see if they're working on the car or if they are done. And it would appear that Jake Brown's night is done. We will give the 1 to go and resume racing next time at a turn 4. 9 laps complete, 11 laps remain.
Well, Adam, what we did a few years ago when we had a moisture issue, we asked the drivers thumbs up or thumbs down. Every one of them gave me a thumbs up, said we are still good to race.
And a quick shout out to James Wood from Section E, who said the micro sprint start next Thursday night.
They had their first test in tune last night. Those drivers itching and ready to go, and we're ready to go with this one. Dylan Westbrook will get on the loud pedal, and we are back on it with that lap car between first place and second, Jim Hoopinen.
Westbrook way up on the outside is Krutchka with a big run to the high side. Although he went so far out into turn number 1, it allowed Turner to pass him on the inside. So he's retaking that position.
So Westbrook on the outside line, as is Jim Hoopinen. Now it's Mitch Brown that's kind of searching around, trying to find an advantage. And a driver that has just made some moves, and in fact got himself into the 4th position is Corey Turner, who started back in 10th.
And Corey Turner just lost that spot once again. He made a beautiful move to pass Mike Krutchka and slide up in front of him. Trying to do it again, couldn't quite do it, but I believe John Burbridge in the 21 was affecting his trajectory.
12 laps complete, 8 more to go for Dylan Westbrook, looking to make it 2 races in a row. And again, last week was a Patriot Sprint Tour event, so show up points only. This one here will count for championship points.
Dylan Westbrook out front by nearly half a straightaway over Hoopinen, and that outside groove getting closer and closer to the wall. As Turner squeezes Krutchka up into the wall, Krutchka didn't like that. Throws a slider back on the 97 machine.
Top 3 again have broken away and separated themselves pretty evenly, with Westbrook your leader, Hoopinen right now in 2nd, Mitch Brown running in 3rd, and then that great battle right now for 4th between Turner and Krutchka.
And 5th, 6th, and 7th is all Turners. Corey, Jamie, and Ryan.
all right there waiting to pounce on the top 5 with 5 laps left to go for Dylan Westbrook.
5 laps remain for Westbrook, closing in once again on slower traffic. And again, the slower traffic running the line. Westbrook's been running as the race leader, but he's got nearly a full straightaway advantage over Hoopanen as he works into turn 3 and drives it down to the bottom of the racetrack.
3 laps left to go for Dylan Westbrook, who's working through heavy lap traffic. He works by Curtis Gartley and will shoot by Tyler Hendrickson, catching Tom Hoopanen.
Tom Hoopanen, the next one to go a lap down, as again Westbrook drives to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll let the car slide up off of turn 4 as he takes the 2 laps to go.
This kid has been sensational since his first ever start in a 360 sprint car. He almost won that in the Triple Crown Showdown 2 years ago. He hasn't looked back since. The SOS champion, second place in points last year here at the Big O. He's 1 lap away from yet another victory.
He'll get around Hoopanen and Steve Lyons. Last time down the back straightaway goes Dylan Westbrook. Down through turns 3 and 4 on the high side. Westbrook sees the checkered flag. He'll take the win in the 20-lap sprint car A-Main. Hoopanen finishes second, Mitch Brown third, Mikey Krutchka fourth, just ahead of Corey Turner. Then it's Jamie Turner, Ryan Turner finishing 7th. Travis Cunningham brings it home in 8th, the last car on the lead lap.
6th career win for Dylan Westbrook as he picks up the victory here on Cormark International Night. So congratulations go out to Dylan Westbrook as we're going to keep the show moving, and we'll bring out the Thunder stocks for their A-Main. Still have them and the mini stocks to go, but there's your winner. Scotland, Ontario's Dylan Westbrook will pick up the win. The Bradshaw Fuels 47X 6th career victory here at the Big O.
2 more races remain here on this Friday night program.
Give a shout out to Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky here. Lone Wolf Fireworks, located on Highway 54 in Middleport. You can check them out online and on Facebook. Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official fireworks provider of OhswekenSpdway. As we get ready for the 8-cylinder stock car division, I think we need to bring in Tommy Gooch for this one. Adam Ross has the starting lineup.
Starting on the pole, car number 40 is Jay Deliverance. On the outside of row number 1, the 38, Terry Martin. Row 2 on the inside, the 37H is Rob Hoskins. Outside of him will be the 7 of Jason Longaro. Blake Bomberry Jr. will roll off 5th. Outside of him will be the 53 of Logan Schwedick. Chris Dickey is in the number 1. The 11R is Bryce Richardson. 119 is Sean Quinn. The 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. Ryan Dinning behind the wheel of the number 8. And in the 11, it's Reese George. Car number 56 is Derek Lemaire, and in the 23, it's Trevor DeBoer. Ken Sargent drives number 25, and he'll be alongside the 93 of Melissa Miller. Dave Bailey behind the wheel of the 49. Alongside him will be the 28 of Jim Lampman. 77 is Brett Rodwell with Vince Fargnoli in car number 90 on the outside. Nick Liverance scheduled to roll off next in the 911L. Alongside him should be the 26 of Mike Ferguson. Mike Klazinga in the 93K will be alongside the 79 of Christopher Hale, and the 17 of Rob Disher will round out the field with the 13 of Casey Huffman. Green flag out of turn number 4. Tommy Googe joins me for this one.
20 laps the distance on this one. 26 Thunderstocks were scheduled. I think we maybe are missing 1 or 2. Hoskins was upside down last week. Now he's fighting for the lead with Liverance.
What a great story for Rob Hoskins. In fact, the other Liverance car is the one that was upside down. So bookends right now. Rob Hoskins in the lead. And Nick Liverance bringing up the tail as Jay Liverance has some problems. Evasive action. I believe that's Jason Longaro who just threaded that needle.
Yeah, Longaro definitely had to be quick to get through that gap that was quickly closing there, and now he's got the second spot. He'll try to go after Hoskins, who in a mini stock last year towards the end of the year was dominant. Now he decided to move up to the Thunderstock, and he's got the lead right now. Yellow flag comes out though as
A
it looks
multi-car
like
skirmish. Brett Rodwell was involved.
Reese George and Mike Ferguson as well. Should mention the winner of this race will draw the 50-50 winning ticket. So if you're hanging on for that, make sure you have your tickets out at the end of this feature event. The winner will draw the 50-50 winning ticket. It was well over $1,000, so definitely worth hanging around to pick that up.
And if you are heading towards the car, tune into 88.1 FM. So if it's your ticket that's drawn, you can rush back to the track and collect your winnings. An impressive field once again of Thunderstocks, as always here at the Big O. Some of the best racing you'll find anywhere. These guys really dig deep. And Tommy, there's a race within a race. Obviously, there's a race for the win, but then you have the points competitors. Dave Bailey is the measuring stick by which a Thunderstock driver can. So if you can stay ahead of Bailey and you're charged for the front, that's the race within a race, because you know sooner or later that 49's headed there.
Yeah, he's become the driver to beat, especially last year and this year. Started 21st last week, finished second, started 19th here tonight, so maybe a win's in the cards. We'll see what the 49 has for them, but some fast cars are ahead of him, including Ryan Dinning, who got the feature win last week.
As well as Jim Lampman in that 28. So both those drivers know, hey, we're ahead of the 49. They got to keep the loud pedal down and try to make smart moves and stay out front and hopefully be in contention for a win.
Bit of a ragged start there. Terry Martin kind of was a little bit slow. Bonberry got to the inside of him, but it looks like we will keep going for the moment. Hoskins and Longaro side by side down the backstretch. Then it's 3 wide for third.
Great battle for the top spot. Rob Hoskins down on the inside in that rather ugly 37H, but it looks better on its wheels than it did on its roof.
And he's doing a good job fighting with some very good Thunderstock competitors there. Dinning and Longaro, the teammates now, the 7 and 8 cars. And then it's Richardson in the 11 who's having a good run here tonight, the driver out of Port Colborne in that Dayglow orange machine.
Ryan Dinning already out in front with Jason Longaro. Dave Bailey barely into the top 10 and that white and blue number 49. But Dinning right now not driving away. Longaro giving a great battle for the lead.
Bailey is just methodically picking spots up right here, not pushing too hard. Still 15 laps to go this time by, and now Bailey sniffing around for a top 5 spot on the outside of Quinn.
Wow, I'm not sure Quinn knew someone was out there. Looked like he was set to drive up towards the wall, then realized there was a car out there, and it was Dave Bailey on the move. The 49 of Bailey up to 4th.
So Bailey now up to 4th, and he's up in the high groove where he likes to run that car if he can, and now he's got clear track ahead of him for the moment as he tries to get up and on the outside of Rob Hoskins.
Jay Liverance in that 40 car had problems, got into the wall on the back straightaway, peeled the car into the pits off the end of 3, and Christopher Hale goes around and gets T-boned by Melissa Miller right in the driver's side door. He's pointed the wrong direction between 1 and 2.
And yellow will come out. Tough break for Hale, who was having a good start to his rookie season, but this will put a dent in those standings for him.
Well, a few laps ago, I watched him go down the back straightaway, and sparks were flying off the car as he rubbed against the concrete outside wall. He has been doing very well, because we can't stress enough that although the speeds aren't as high in these Thunder cars as we see in either of the sprint car divisions, it takes a tremendous amount of driving skill to run as well, to run with the pack in these cars. There's a lot of experience. Look at a guy like Ken Sargent, who's been racing for, 25 years?
Yeah, Ken Sargent. I mean, Ryan Dinning's been racing here forever. Jason Langaro's been racing mini stocks. He's a former champ in the mini stock division, is Jason Langaro. And then you got Dave Bailey, of course. Bryce Richardson has been a good runner here for a long time, as well as down at the Niagara area tracks. And there's a lot of veteran drivers in this division who could probably move up and really run really well in a higher division, but they choose to stay here, a little bit more affordable, and they can run like Bailey does 3 nights a week too, which you can't always do in a higher division.
And it's quality racing. You know, it's not, we call divisions the premier division sometimes because they're the fastest. Sometimes because the equipment is the most expensive. It doesn't mean the racing isn't good and they don't take it as seriously. These guys take this racing every bit as seriously as a sprint car racer or a super modified racer or a late model racer.
They for sure do. And, you know, I was thinking about it watching hot laps with these guys. I mean, really, 20, 30 years ago, this was a late model division. So, and it really isn't that much different than it would have been back then.
No, that's for sure. And ingenuity and hard work. I mean, Dave Bailey and a few of them have really found setups that work. But to race a car 3 nights a week, I mean, that's a grind.
Especially one of these. I mean, these are not purpose-built race cars. They are basically street cars. I mean, some of them have purpose-built chassis underneath them now, but it's not always easy to find parts for a late 70s Camaro.
No, you're absolutely right. We're about to go back to green flag racing. 14 laps remain in this Thunderstock feature event.
So here we go again. Bailey back to the inside now. He's been pretty much in every groove you can run on this track, and we've seen them 7 and 8 wide here in the past. He's used, I think, all of those so far as he goes searching for another line to try to make it 3 wide for the lead with Dinning and Longaro.
Dave Bailey working that outside groove. Not sure if Longaro knows he's there. He's about to. Bailey way up high on the racetrack. Look at the run he gets down the banking, but Ryan Dinning so much of a shorter distance running the bottom. Blake Bomberry heads to the pits.
So a tough break for him. Bomberry's been a strong runner here over the past couple of years, but he is not on the track for the rest of this race. Dinning and Bailey still side by side at the front of this one as Longaro's fallen back just a little bit. And Dinning has seen this movie before with the 49 car on his outside.
Casey Huffman in that shed in a day, number 13. He heard that engine coughing and puking down the front stretch. He'll take it pit side. Looks like Melissa Miller is headed there as well, as a great side-by-side battle for the lead between the two winningest drivers this season.
And so Dinning and Bailey still going at it side by side. They'll get the cross flags this time by 10 laps in and 10 to go. And now Bailey will take the advantage for the moment. We'll see if Dinning can get back by him.
It looks like Bailey is much faster in 3 and 4. I thought Dinning was a bit quicker in 1 and 2, but he's searching around for some different lines, trying to find somewhere that he can compete with that 49 of Bailey.
Track is going to change here a little bit over the last course of this race. Still lots of cars out there to make things interesting. And now Quinn and Dickey and Klazinga all go off the end of turn 3. That was strange.
I don't know that I've seen that. They just all, I wonder, no, nobody could have blown up because they've all driven away. They all just went straight.
Is it, there's a little bit more precipitation falling than there was. I wonder if the track is a little bit slick over there.
So Clint and Jeffrey back there on the back straightaway. Clint, did they get into some wet stuff back there? He's on the radio right now looking for thumbs up, thumbs down from these drivers.
Well, I mean, we've seen what can happen when a sudden downpour kind of comes in, and when the track is packed hard like this and then it gets wet, it's basically like ice. The water does not soak in when the dirt has been pounded down, especially on the entries to these corners.
It's the most. You've probably never been on ice on an embankment, right? Ice, you stand on ice on a hockey rink, it's pretty flat. Try to walk across the racetrack with a pretty serious amount of banking, and it's quite an adventure.
I remember one night, quite a while ago, maybe my first or second year here, a storm blew in very quickly, and all the push trucks got stuck on the track. They couldn't get off, so.
No, I remember standing on the inside of the racetrack when it got really watered down, and you start to worry. You think, well, when am I going to be able to cross the racetrack? You just couldn't possibly. So Clint and Jeffrey going to take one pole here. They got the drivers single file. They want to give them all an opportunity to give some feedback here. We appreciate you hanging in.
It is coming down pretty good, but The drivers will make the decision here.
We'll await Clinton Jeffries' report back to Doug Leonard, the race director.
Can't be coming down too hard because the fans are sticking it out.
The fans are here. They're doubling up the field. Apparently the driver said, hey, let's get this done. Let's put on a race. Nine laps remain here in this 20-lap Thunderstock feature event. Ryan Dinning was undefeated last weekend. He won Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Ohsweken, Merrittville, Humberstone. Let's see who's going to set the tone for this weekend's racing. We're about to go back to green.
So Bailey chooses the outside groove for this start. Interesting move by him. And we'll see if it pays off for him. So far, he gets a good run down the front straightaway and into turn number 1 and 2, but it's definitely slicker down there than it was a few minutes ago.
What a move by Trevor DeBoer in that 23. Shoots between the Lungero 7 and the 25 of Kenny Sargent coming out of turn 2.
So some other fast cars making their way to the front now. DeBoer, Sargent, and Lemaire all up into the top 6 as Dinning goes after Bailey on the inside of turn 1 and 2, but Bailey with the momentum out of corner 2.
Trevor DeBoer fending off the 25 of Ken Sargent. Has he ever won a Thunderstock feature, Tommy?
He may have won maybe one of the twin 15s a while ago, but he hasn't been to victory lane very often. He's been on the podium a lot as Sargent in that 25 car, but he's up into the fight for this win now.
What a great battle still. Ryan Dinning on the inside, the 49 of Dave Bailey on the outside. A couple of Dinning's teammates, the 25 of Ken Sargent, the 7 of Jason Lungero. That's your top 5.
So not sure if Bailey's move to start on the outside on that restart was a good one or a bad one at the moment, because Dinning now is making runs at him on the inside. He hasn't been able to clear him yet, though, as they'll get the high five this time by from Kyle McKenzie.
The one advantage of being on the outside is you've got a great view of where your competition is. And Dave Bailey, with that level of experience, you go in the corner, you can see Ryan, a quick look to the left, you can see what else is out there. But they're so evenly matched.
Yeah, Bailey on the top, Dinning on the bottom. Bailey's got the momentum out of the corners. Dinning's got it into the corners. And which one's going to pay off right now? It is Bailey leading that lap by a nose with 4 to go.
And the gap is so close at the start-finish line where they really even out. And another great battle for 3rd, another great battle for 6th on back. That's Vince Fargnoli side by side with Derek Lemaire. We've got 3 laps to go.
Now Dinning noses ahead on this one, as Dinning will lead lap number 17. So they've traded the lead I don't know how many times unofficially, and at least a few times at the line, still side by side down the back straightaway.
And Dinning led the last lap by 1/1000th of a second. 2 laps to go, and we've got one around in 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to try to get going again. This will be just in front of the race leaders.
So a good sportsmanlike move there by Klazinga, but now it bottles up the leaders. They'll try to split Klazinga down the back straightaway, and they will do so successfully. Still Dinning by a nose, coming to the white flag this time by.
And Dave Bailey drops to the inside. From the outside, he goes down to the bottom for one last attempt. 1 lap to go.
Bailey to the inside. They've traded spots here. Can Bailey get the momentum into corner 3 and shut the door on Dinning? Who's it going to be?
Dinning leads by a nose. Bailey drives it in deep on the inside. It'll be a drag race to the finish. It's Bailey by a foot at the line. By 5/1000ths of a second, Dave Bailey takes the win.
They're still racing. Now Bailey's decided it's over. They still raced hard into turn 1 and 2, though. Bailey gets the win. Dinning 2nd. Sargent will be 3rd. Then it's DeBoer, Lungero, Lemaire, Beagle, Fargnoli, Lampman, and Richardson rounding out the top 10.
What a great race. What a great finish.
How about this one, Adam? Sorry to cut you off. Doug Leonard immediately come on the radio and says, Mike Miller, who's our director of tech, measure the transponder locations of both these cars. So, unofficially, it's Dave Bailey, as long as the transponder meets the proper measurements, let's say. And the mini stock's coming right up, guys. We are going to hustle through it. And Dale Calnan has an amazing nose-to-nose picture. Well, you can't even call it from the photograph, guys. Fans, how about that finish? Let me hear you make some noise. What a great job by all our Thunderstocks, racing smart. Back to you guys. We got one to go. We're going to try and beat Mother Nature here tonight.
I just drew the winning 50-50 ticket, Clinton, so that we can keep the show going here. Winning 50-50 number for 1320. That's $1,320 is 212602. That's ticket number 212602. Again, one more time, 212602. If you've won the 50-50 draw, come meet our 50-50 sellers. Where are you going to be, girls? Come meet our 50-50 sellers at the base of the announcer's tower if you have that winning 50-50 number.
And now the starting lineup for the mini stock feature event. This is how they're scheduled to roll off. On the pole, car number 26 is Tim Newell on the outside of row 1. The 16J is Jeremy May. Dusty DeBoer in the 23. Alongside him is Jason Dixon in the 6. Starting 5th, Martin Schroeder in the 60. Alongside will be the 63C of Dave Crumby. Starting 7th, Brian Crosgrove in the 96. And starting 8th, the 64 of Doug Erskine. Bobby Tolton's in the 13. And 6X is Mike Sarantakos. Rob Twitchett in the 69. The 16 is Fabio Olivieri. Starting 13th, the 21 of Jonathan Ayrton. The 63 of Brandon Crumby starts 14th. Kyle Wirt in the 19 starts 15th. 16th, the 49 of Gary Hodgson. The 4 is Aaron Rowitsky. The 9 is Tim DeBoer. 66X is Brandon Jansen. 66 is John Jansen. 21X is Mark Bazine. The 29X is Davey Boughton. 81 of Carl Salt. The 22 of Nick Mazzy. 2 is Matt Newell. The 79 is Steve Miller. The 05 is Dave Goodacre. And the 11P is Patrick Abramson.
Adam, I just want to make a quick mention. The transponders checked out. Dave Bailey, the feature winner.
Great report from the Tech Barn, and early in the going is Tim Newell with the lead in this mini stock feature event.
Jeremy May right there in that second position with Dixon running in third. Last week's winner, Dave Crumby, got his first ever win. He's right there in the hunt in the top 5.
Doug Erskine working his way towards the front in the orange and white number 64. He'll pull alongside Dixon in that 6 car racing down into turn 1.
Newell kind of washed up the banking there a little bit, and that allows Jeremy May to make up ground. Had a good run off the second corner. He'll look to the outside in corner 3.
May up on the high side. Doug Erskine working the middle of the racetrack. Newell sliding up out of turn 4.
Newell will lead the lap. 3 on the board, but here comes May working that outside line, trying to get the momentum build up here off of corner number 2. He's got a good run down the hill.
May is definitely taking the long way around the racetrack, but that's where the banking is. That's where you get the momentum as they race into 3. May still on the outside.
Side by side for the top spot, and look at Doug Erskine at the front of the field here up in the top 3 position. He's getting a challenge from Dave Crumby.
Crumby works down low, slide up in front of the 64 of Erskine. Erskine turns back down the racetrack to try to get underneath. They are 5 wide down the backstretch.
Wow. Trying to make it 6 is Massey. What a run through 3 and 4. Crumby washes up the banking. Here comes the 60 of Schroeder now. He gets a little tag from the back end.
Wow, nice save by Schroeder. That would have been a bad one if he came across the racetrack. But they are stacked up. May is now out in front. Crumby looking to take over the second position.
Jeremy May looking for his first career win. He's at the front of the field over Dave Crumby. Newell right now in third. Massey right now in fourth. And it's Schroeder and Brandon Crumby side by side for fifth.
Tight racing all the way through the field. As May continuing to run that higher line, but I think it's a smoother arc on this race car on a track that looks like it's pretty edgy for these drivers.
Off of corner 4 now. Top 2, wheel to wheel. Dave Crumby on the inside. Jeremy May on the outside. And here comes the rookie, Nick Massey. Makes it 3 wide through corner 1.
Well, and Nick Massey looks anything but a rookie lately. That 222, he started deep in this field, doing a great job.
He's got the top spot in corner 3. This time by the cross flags. Go in the air. We are halfway done this HRW Automotive Mini Stock feature.
Nick Massey was scheduled to start 24th. Did he start back there, Greg?
Honestly, I'm not sure. if he had an amazing drive through the field, as he is your leader at the halfway point. May back to second. Dave, make that Brandon Crumby third. Dave Crumby fourth, and Newell, your pole sitter, back in fifth.
Massey out in front now. That car looks to be getting a little bit out of shape on the 222. Everybody's sliding around on the racetrack.
Now the rain definitely falling harder now as we try and get this one into the record books. And you can see guys in different lanes trying to keep the back ends of their cars in, as now the yellow flag will fly. And definite moisture, so we are going to put it under the yellow.
I have a feeling this is how it's going to end.
Could be. We are definitely past the halfway point in this race. So close to getting it done.
I can't believe the level of skill these drivers showed. You could see everybody out there out of control, but they were respecting the other competitors, a little bit of rubbing, but they all were able to keep it under control.
I almost think they're racers. They wanted to make us look like, hey, it's okay, no problem. We can keep racing here.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this. But obviously, Mother Nature finally putting a little bit too much moisture on the track.
So Clinton Jeffries back out there again for thumbs up, thumbs down. If we see him dive out of the way, it means they're out of control.
Well, I'm thinking Nick Massey's probably thumbs down. Honestly, though, they want to race. They want to race to win.
They really do.
They do.
It's racers come to race, and they put on a great show. It does appear from here that the rain is slowing down, but the fact that we have a roof over our head here, Greg, is a bit of an unfair measuring stick.
Look at these diehards, though. Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Checkered flag in hand by Kyle McKenzie. I believe this will mark an end to Cormark night here at OhswekenSpdway, but what a job by the crew getting this show in, Greg.
Well, Adam, if I could jump in here, we gave the drivers the chance to thumbs up, thumbs down. More than 3/4 of them said thumbs down. We are more than halfway, so we will have to call it. Want to congratulate all the winners quickly and mention that victory lane for them will be next week with all the photos. So great job, guys. Awesome work, and I want to say thanks to all the Ohsweken crew to working hard on the fly tonight to get this one mostly in.
Well, congratulations, of course, go to all of our winners and plus our Wall of Fame members here tonight. Gail Hill, Jim Cochran, Tom Hoopinen, and, of course, Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross. Congratulations on the honors here this evening. And thank you to the fans for joining us here on Cormark International Night. We are sorry that we couldn't get the complete program in, but we almost did it. Mother Nature didn't quite knock us down. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Friday night as Pinty's Delicious Foods brings us minor sports team night. Of course, the ROC Sportsman Tour is in town. 7:30 start time along with our regular 5 divisions. So make sure you are here. For more information, log on to www.OhswekenSpdway.com. That will do it from up here in the tower. On behalf of the Stiers family, all the officials and the track staff, crew, and everyone that makes the show possible, and on behalf of my co-announcers here tonight, Tommy Gooch, Clinton Jeffrey, Adam Ross, my name's Greg Hellman saying so long, and we'll see you right back here next Friday night.